Hello, and welcome to Have Alice, reviews for your pleasure. We share honest thoughts, opinions, feelings, often some hot takes. And I'm Nietzsche.
And I'm Joshua.
And this is episode 7 of the RWBY Report. We're talking about episode 9 of RWBY Ice Queendom. We're going to be spoiling this wonderfulness, this episode, this series, trying not to spoil things from normal RWBY property. And we invite you to have at us. You go down to the description, you find those social media links, and you click those. And you come have at us. Come tell us all about your thoughts, feelings, opinions, everything. Now let's hear it.
Well, I got one question.
Okay.
Who is the man with two souls?
Who is the man with two souls? I don't even remember seeing this reference in the show. I understand the reference, but I don't know where this reference is.
Well, Blake and Yang open up the door and it has a bunch of books. The only book with the name on it was a book called The Man with Two Souls.
Oh.
And I saw that, and I was like, well, if you're just going to put it in my face like that, clearly it's referencing something.
It's a fan service point. I don't know if the scene actually exists in the beginning of Ice Queendom or not, because I don't remember. But Blake is reading a book, and she is asked what this book is about, and she says it's about a man with two souls.
I don't remember if that was in this or not.
Yeah, I don't think it was, because I think that scene, contextually takes place in a spot that doesn't actually appear in Ice Queendom, but I don't know if they brought it back in a different fashion or not. Regardless, that's what that is referencing.
Oh, that wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be. A little let down, to be honest.
That's fine. I mean, she, reads a lot of smut books.
Smut. Okay. I can get beyond that.
It's a very common thing to make fun of with Blake.
Okay.
And they're pretty funny sometimes, actually. Some of the creative things people come up with for mocking her thing is pretty good.
Okay, well, my disappointment is higher now.
Is higher now. Like, you were already feeling a lot of disappointment in this episode.
I felt like I got what I more or less expected.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we expected this to go wrong in different ways. Because I was fine with this episode. I feel like this alleviates the concern at this point.
Do you now?
We didn't drag our feet through the episode. We quickly moved through the points that we needed to move through to get, to some actual action.
Not very good action.
Not very good action. What's the not very good action here?
In a practical sense, I thought the animation of all the mini Weisses shooting out of the train looked really awkward and stiff. Pretty bad. It did not make for a very good scene.
They're 3 feet tall.
It looked like stop motion almost. And that it was just very stiff.
It didn't look that bad. It did look stiff because they have to be a little stiff. They're 3 feet tall holding these, mini fencing things, trying to shoot things out, which is a lot of pressure, so you gotta hold yourself pretty stiff to deal with the pressure. That's what a child's gonna do. I don't feel like it was that big of a deal.
No, I didn't like it. It bothered me a little bit.
More than a little bit, it sounds like.
I thought it looked bad.
It definitely did not look bad. It wasn't as nice as it could have been, sure. But I also feel like it was a decision that was purposefully made. It looked like it was purposefully done to look a little awkward because they're children.
Well, if that's true, I did not read it that way. I thought that was just a little lazy. Or your budget was a little constrained. One of the two. That's what I thought.
I mean, it could have been that, but I don't think it looked god-awful. I didn't look at it and think, wow, that looks like stop motion. That's pretty excessively bad.
Yeah. There's a couple things I did like, though, if you want me to be positive.
You can go whatever direction you want. I assume you have more negative things to say. You could break that up with some positive if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it really sounds like you got a lot of positive things here.
I'm trying to remember the name. Shion.
Shion.
Oof, got there.
Our good friend Shion.
Yeah, Shion. They're remembrant. What are these things called? Oh my
Their
god.
semblance.
Semblance. Remembrance, semblance, whatever. Their semblance their hourglass thing, instead of sand, it's like little flowers. And I don't know if I remembered that being a thing or a detail. But this is the first time I actually took note of that. And I'm just assuming that I entirely missed it, or you even said it, and I just like, that's not important.
If I remember correctly, we talked about it.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
It's been there, I think, every time. I think every time we come out, we see the hourglass. There's a whole scene where the hourglass gets flipped, and it's a representation of Shion's aura. It's a whole thing. Like when they go to take their break, and they gotta come back in and reform their plan. The whole thing.
This show is making a really deep impression on me, as you can tell, and I'm remembering all the small details.
Like the man with two souls.
I saw that. Eagle-eyed viewer over here. That's what I am.
I guess so.
I was going to say the man with two souls thing. If that was going to be like a cool reference, I thought that would be cool. But it wasn't. It was stupid. I thought maybe this was going to be like a reference to like the larger antagonist of the world or something interesting like that. Or like this would be an archive of like dangerous criminals or something, and that could be part of it. I thought we'd do something cool with that. Doesn't sound like it.
It's a fan service reference, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing more, nothing less. You gotta put your expectations in an appropriate spot next time.
I'll do that.
Not headcanon off of a book title.
Look, I already got one headcanon going.
Oh,
Okay?
let's hear it.
Time-traveling paladin.
Oh my... I think you're playing too much 14. Except you didn't go through Endwalker as a paladin.
No.
So you can't count yourself as like a time-traveling paladin.
No, I can't.
Anyway, people who got it. That's great. Any other positivity you want to maybe attempt to sprinkle in here and not look like an idiot by doing it?
I'm running a little low.
A little low as in there's nothing left. We're on E over here.
Yeah, there's nothing left for me to praise, you know?
Mm-hmm. Let's hear what you got to tear down over here.
The song.
Again, the song, the Mirror Mirror song.
Yeah.
You're hating on it. I think it fits again. I think this actually fits better than last time. It's a callback to it. It's actually why singing it. It makes a lot of sense. Everything's frozen.
I just don't want this to be in English. It doesn't come across well in English to me. Some of the pronunciation, of course, and I get it, right? You're not an English speaker. I'm not saying that it should sound pitch perfect. But there was a couple words where I was like, woof, we got through that one eventually. Not great. And I just get kind of distracted by that. I don't think it sounds super good. It also went on way too long. I felt like that was like 2 minutes. I was like, this doesn't need to be that long.
I think your problem is very specifically that you don't like that it's sung by a Japanese person. For the accent point here. I think if it was in English, I feel like you would have less problem. Like, if it was sung by a native English speaker, I think you would have less problems with this.
It would be weird still, though, because everyone's speaking Japanese. It'd be like if we were all speaking English and then we started to sing in Japanese. I'd be like, that's a little weird.
No, it just happens. Frequently. In all kinds of media.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I can't say that it's not weird when they do it.
Yeah, it may be weird, but I just move on. And I feel like you normally move on, but you're not engaged enough to move on.
Well, part of it is that all of it is in English, right? It's one thing when you throw in a weird English line that makes no sense. And it's kind of funny, right? But when the whole song is in English, it doesn't work as well.
Okay, but the song is originally in English. Like, again, it's a fan service reference point. But I think it actually works here.
I mean, contextually, the song is fine. Lyrically, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think it sounds great in the moment. And again, it definitely goes on too long.
It doesn't go on that long. It's not an excessively ridiculous thing. The pacing has been rather slow up to this point. It's not like we interrupted something and now we're, like, slowed down for 2 minutes.
No, that's true. It's towards the beginning of the episode, which helps it.
It's paced fine with it. I like the song. I think it makes a lot of sense. It doesn't bother me that we chose this song that has 4 billion R sounds in it in a language that, doesn't say R in this same fashion. Because I think in the end, she pulls it off pretty well. It's really the ending R's that really, really screw with her, which is pretty normal.
It's too bad we don't have more L's in there. That'd really help.
Yeah, just really, really screw the whole thing up.
L doesn't exist in Japanese, so, it really helps when there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But that's probably the worst point for me.
I figured that you were gonna come in here and hate on it.
Yeah, I don't like it. It doesn't work for me.
I just don't feel like you have any good justifications for not liking it, is my deal here. But it doesn't really matter.
I mean, the thing about music is that it's something that I feel more than I try to, put logic behind, right? When I listen to music, I like to interpret the music with feeling, right? Does this make me feel melancholic? Does this fit the mood I should be feeling with the show?
Yeah, it does.
And in this case, I don't get that. I don't get really much of anything other than,
It's sad. It's a reflection of her feeling alone in the world, which is what we've dealt with for the whole time. We had a whole scene that sets it up right at the start of the episode with the bunk beds. Thematically it fits. I just don't understand how you can claim that it's a feeling-oriented thing, and then I can point to you all the ways that it fits in the feeling orientation.
Because feeling isn't about the lyrics. It's about the sound coming from the voice and the music together is what creates feeling to me. It's not necessarily the lyrics. Unless it's like a really standout song that can really get me there. But there's not many of those. I generally like sad music.
This is sad.
It's not to my standards, right? It's not like Hallelujah or something, right?
Hallelujah is so boring.
I like that.
No. There's a difference between sad and boring, okay? And I don't think you know the difference.
I think it's going to be different for everybody.
Nope. I am the arbiter of right and wrong, of good and bad. Any more hatred you need to spew out over here? No, you got nothing else you really need to...
Nothing that I hate. There's nothing that I hate.
You got any things you want to bring up? Ask any other bad questions?
Why does Ruby take 5 things of sugar and cream in her coffee? That's a lot.
Because Ruby is a child. And it really is, it's basically a personality thing, because it drives the wedge of, Ruby's younger and more childish, and Weiss is mature and cool.
Drinks her tea black.
She probably drinks her tea black, or the English where there's some cream or whatever. But, she drinks her coffee black. And it kind of, has the juxtaposition and allows them to kind of, be friends. That bunk bed scene is better in actual RWBY proper, but that's fine.
Oh, is it in that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the bunk bed scene has already happened in this show.
Right, I remember that.
Well, I never know what you remember or don't remember. You notice the, hourglass for the first time in 9 episodes, so I don't know what to tell you anymore.
I knew there was an hourglass. I just assumed that it was sand, okay?
Anyway, it also creates a really good scene later, way later in the show. But that's fine. I won't go spoil that.
Yeah, we're not going to get to that part.
Well, that's volume 5. Anyway. Yeah, it's just, she's a preference person. It's like the people who go to, Dutch Bros and get their, frou-frou coffee. And for the rest of the world who does not live in the Northwest and understand what that is, it's just a drive-through coffee shop. Better than everything you have. I'm actually not that diehard of a fan of Dutch Bros, but we're going to do it anyway.
I like Dutch Bros, and Dutch Bros is it's not really that local, but it's like a Starbucks, but better. There's none in the South.
It's a Northwest thing.
Yeah, they need to expand.
They do expand frequently.
Yeah.
I think, actually. Irrelevant. Ruby drinks her coffee like that. That's just how it is.
My major problem was that it was just one, cup. It wasn't like a container. It wasn't like you got the large at Dutch Bros, right? And it's okay, that's going to have a fair bit in it. But this is just a small little cup. And it's you got 5 sugars in there and cream? It's a little much.
Well, sugar dissolves rather easily.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that it's not, I assume it's just a sugar cube.
That's what 5 sugars means. Yeah, that's how that works.
But I'd like to think it was like a big bag, like a 10-pound bag of sugar.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do about any of your nonsense right here. You got anything else you want to throw me for a loop on here? Anything else you want to be what the heck on?
Well, we're setting up a mystery with the weapon now, right? You got Ruby being like, woo, what's wrong with my weapon, yo? You got it wrong.
That was really funny, though.
It is kind of funny, but it seems like there's a purpose behind it now. What do you think that purpose is?
It's just gonna save the day in some ridiculous fashion.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it's gonna have some cool feature, or it's gonna act like it's a key or something. A key to her heart.
It could be. It's not non-tropey at this point, so...
Yeah. But I think, I was wondering if you thought it could be something different.
I didn't have any other great things. I mean, I predicted the, relics and everybody getting their own relic.
Pretty good.
I win?
That's pretty good. Who has not got a relic?
Everybody's got their relic. Besides, I guess you could count John not getting one or Yang not getting one, but I think the relic that John picks up is Yang's. Blake picked up her relic. Ruby and the, Yang one are broken. And then Weiss's was in the coffin that she goes into, and it broke at the end of the last episode.
Right. So just 4.
Well, I don't think there's a 5th one, because Jean's a failure.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Utter failure. But he, has his cool semblance sword thing. I don't understand.
I don't know. I thought, okay, something's happening with the sword. It's a cool sword. And then we cut out, right? And they're like, oh, what's, Jean's semblance?
His aura is growing, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, we don't know. He just has an aura. And I'm like, oh, paladin. This is what you are.
Everybody has an aura. Okay.
Yeah.
Shion's hourglass, we'll go back to that, as a representation of the aura. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Weird rooftop scene with Pyrrha and Jean, where, he glows white and activates his aura. The color of aura has some meaning that we explore in one scene with John. That's it. It's never talked about again, so it probably isn't a real thing. But we'll say it's a real thing because they put a line in and promptly forgot about it.
I see. Well, I was just thinking, because the cleansing happens with the sword, right? And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's because of his semblance, because that's his weapon that he came in with. And so maybe he has like a cleansing thing, and that would be kind of like a paladin with a cool sword, right? And that's what I was going with.
I mean, that's fine. It definitely seems to be at least a conduit for his aura and potentially his semblance. I know what his semblance is, and that's way late down the road, so I'll keep the spoiler there, but...
Okay. Yeah, keep it from me. Because I already know he's a time-traveling paladin, so...
Oh yeah, I forgot. His semblance is his time travel, yeah.
So, he's a pretty cool guy, actually. Can't wait till we reveal that in the final episode.
That's not gonna happen, but alright.
Where were they keeping Yang's bike? I've forgotten.
Oh, I think that's just a detail that we're just supposed to rule cool that, I think.
Okay, because I was like, where the hell did this thing come from? You just drove into a train from...
Well, she opened one of the doors, but it might have been left at the only other open door. I don't remember it being left there. I don't really remember her using the bike when we came in this time, so I don't know where it would have been left previously. You're pretty sure you're supposed to rule cool it. And just be like, oh cool, Yang's on Bumblebee. She came back. And she has her very, casual like, hey guys.
Yo, what up?
Which is fitting. It's fine.
No, okay. I was just wondering if I was lost and confused on that one.
No, this time, there's not a explanation that's been there for 7 episodes or something.
Okay. I gotcha. I'm trying to lose track of the coin uses.
Well, I don't know what happened. Like, she pulls the coin out and it disappears. And I'm like, I don't know who still has coins.
I have no idea, to be honest. I'm trying to think back to all the uses, and I'm like, that's just a pointless endeavor. There's no way I remember all those. But I've just lost track, and I'm like, I'm not even sure if anybody has coins left.
Well, Ruby has no coins, we know that.
And Jean, right? Because he said we're out of coins.
I don't know. Jean's a failure. Pretty sure he did use his last coin last episode, though.
Yeah, to get on the train, right? Maybe.
I don't remember.
He did something.
He sucks.
He's gonna come through and save the day.
He's not gonna do anything spectacular. At least in my eyes, I bet. Anyway. Yeah, the coin thing is whatever. They'll, come back out. I like that Shion has the oldest computer in the world. It's got the green text for wake. And I'm like, Shion, I think you could do a little bit better. A little bit.
Bit of an old soul.
I was like, okay, I don't really know why it's running through a program weird. I don't know. Your semblance clearly works, and we're not going to give enough for me to say that it does or doesn't work a certain way.
I just like that the phone reminded me of a rotary phone.
It is a rotary phone, basically.
Was it? Did it have that on it?
Pretty sure it does. I don't think you get a good enough shot in this episode, but I think normally it does.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
All Shion's stuff is old.
Apparently.
Yeah, nothing great you need to bring up here? Throw another hot take out there.
Blake shows up there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
In cosplay.
I really like this outfit a lot.
Well, I think the outfit was fine. Is Weiss gonna be fooled by this?
Here is how I'm understanding it, and I think I'm pretty right. So Blake and Yang, are in what you think is the orphanage haunted house thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why she leaves her weapon to leave the door open. That's irrelevant. I don't really care. I guess it's probably just the sheath. I didn't get a good enough look. And then she formulates her plan. And I think what they've realized is that they went too far. And they tried to change the dream too much, which they were told, you can't change it too much or it's going to end bad. And it did. And so she is reverting everything back to the expectation that Blake is trying to come in and lead the White Fang and take everything out and take the dust and attack the Schneef family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then that restores balance there. And I don't think it's about fooling her. It's about keeping the image that Weiss already has. We're not trying to fight against the image that Weiss has. We're just embracing it.
Okay.
If you think I'm a demon, I'm just going to be a demon.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
So I thought it could be that, but I didn't know if it was that or if this was a disguise that's meant to fool people. Because I was like, there's no way that's happening. So I was I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out.
I don't think it's supposed to fool people. I like this design a lot, though.
It does look good. It's a good design.
The red offset really works.
I like the mask.
The normal White Fang mask.
Well, I just like masks because it makes me think of shark clones, so.
Uh-huh. You got any other nonsense references that 4 people just got?
No. I was trying to see if there was anything I could pull into Final Fantasy VIII again with the train, but we didn't do anything super cool with the train, so I was a little disappointed.
I mean, the train goes running through town, wrecking shop like Doom Train if you really want to, play your deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really stretching it, you could stretch it.
Nah, I'm not going to stretch that far.
It's already here now, though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's your fault. That's about it, though. Those were my thoughts that came spilling out.
Mm-hmm. All your negative thoughts, basically.
I had some hiccups. I didn't really hate the episode, to be honest. It was fine.
I feel like it was paced decently. Like, we didn't drag our feet, as I said earlier, and we made it through what could have been like 3 episodes in 1 episode, right?
Oh, for sure.
This could have been a lot longer and way more ridiculous, and we moved on, which was important.
Yeah, we weren't stuck in Ruby's dream for 3 hours, which was a blessing.
We start there, we move on. Jean saves her.
What a good guy.
I mean, I guess.
A true paladin.
I don't really understand why Ruby still has the thorn marks on her hand.
Not sure friendship marks.
With Weiss?
Yeah.
Yeah, like friendship bracelets. Only one of them would be into that, so that's fine. We got nothing else here. No more comments made in ignorance when they shouldn't be.
I mean, I could find some if you wanted me to.
I don't need to explain more things about the show that we are both watching at the same rate.
No, because anything left I have to say would just be pointlessly negative.
Well, I guess that brings us to the end of our opinions, thoughts, feelings, your negative feelings, and really your hot takes. My explanations on basic things for you. That's the end of it all. We hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you give that a like, you comment, you subscribe, come have at us. That's what we need from you. The social media links are right there in the description for you. You share this, you leave suggestions. You do what you need to do.
Which of course means there's one more thing you can do. And that is going to require a little bit of carpentry. You're going to have to find that within yourself. But it'll be worth it. You're going to build a large house. And it's going to be a house of mirrors. You're going to invite people to this house. It's probably going to be a little scary for people, so you're gonna have to, really entice them. Halloween's coming up. It's a good time for it. Invite them in. They're stuck in the middle of this house. You lock the doors, and you start singing to them. And you let that song drift over them, shower them, whatever fun word you want to use. I don't care. And then you show yourself in the mirrors, but make it so that they can't find you, just like in all the animes and the movies and stuff. If you want to wear like a clown costume or something to really scare them.
What's the purpose of this again?
To advertise our show. You're singing to them about our show.
Oh, so not only they need to get probably millions of dollars to make a house that's actually just a bunch of mirrors, because glass is
cheap.
Far from.
It's just sand.
But they gotta make the house, get the mirrors, write a song, multiple songs probably, I assume.
Yeah, that helped.
About our show, and then perform them. I'm glad you have figured out your expectations and have put them in a reasonable spot for them.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
It's a good goal for them. I gave them a couple of months, they're good.
Now they've got a time limit. Before they didn't have a time limit.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 months.
Yeah, well, really, Halloween.
2 months or bust.
Halloween.
Less than 2 months then.
Yeah.
Great. You got a consequence if they fail, or doesn't sound like it?
No, not really.
Let's hear your great score.
Oh, my score. Oh, we're jumping right in. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10.
I'm giving this a 7 out of 10.
Have at us.